You're making it weird again, Aisha said softly, almost laughing as if I was the problem. It's just a moment. Let it go. Just a moment. That's how she described it. But moments like that don't feel small when you're the one watching them unfold. The music around us was calm, conversations blending into a low hum. It should have been a peaceful evening. Familiar faces, relaxed energy. Instead, I stood still, watching my wife lean closer to someone else, like I had already faded out of the picture. I didn't recognize him. But he moved with confidence, like he belonged anywhere he stood. And somehow, she responded to that without hesitation. Aisha, I said quietly. She turned slightly, her expression neutral. Please don't do this here. That sentence said everything. Not concern. Not explanation. Just a quiet dismissal. Have you ever felt like you were present, but no longer important? That's what it felt like. Not anger. Not even jealousy. Just a slow realization that something had already started slipping away long before this moment. I didn't argue. I didn't step forward. I stepped back. Because in that moment, I understood something clearly. You can't hold on to someone who is already letting go. We left soon after. The drive home was quiet, but not peaceful. It felt like something unfinished was sitting between us, waiting to be acknowledged. She stayed on her phone, occasionally smiling at something I couldn't see. I kept my eyes on the road. I didn't ask questions. Because sometimes, asking only delays the truth you already feel. The next morning, everything looked the same. Routine. Silence. Distance. Last night wasn't bad, she said casually, like nothing had happened. I looked at her for a moment. If you think so. She didn't notice the weight behind it. Or maybe she didn't want to. And that's when it became clear. People don't suddenly become different. They just stop hiding who they've been all along. After that night, I stopped reacting. Not because I didn't care, but because I realized something important. Reacting wouldn't change anything. Aisha continued like everything was normal. Same routine. Same tone. But I started noticing things I had ignored before. The small details. The quiet signals. The way she angled her phone away when messaging. How her attention drifted when we spoke. How she seemed more present everywhere else, except with me. Most people would confront it. Push for answers. Demand honesty. I didn't. Because sometimes silence reveals more than questions ever could. And what I saw wasn't confusion. It was choice. She wasn't unsure. She was slowly stepping away. And that realization didn't break me. It woke me up. Instead of trying to fix things, I gave space. I stepped back. And what happened next told me everything. She didn't notice. Not even once. That silence between us only grew. So I made a decision. Not out of anger. But out of clarity. I started focusing on myself again. Things I had ignored. Time alone. Clear thinking. Distance from something that had quietly become exhausting. Then one evening, I did something unexpected. When I pulled into the driveway, the sound caught her attention immediately. She stepped outside, confused. What is that? Something I wanted, I replied calmly. Her expression shifted. You made a decision like this without telling me. I paused for a moment. I didn't think it mattered. That hit harder than anything else. Because she understood. This wasn't about the purchase. It was about everything. About distance. About decisions made without communication. About a connection that had already started to fade. She didn't respond. And for the first time, I didn't try to fill the silence. The distance between us didn't break all at once. It stretched quietly until it couldn't hold anymore. When my birthday came around, I didn't want anything special. No gathering. No attention. But Aisha insisted. It might help us, she said. I didn't argue. I just let it happen. The house filled with people. Laughter echoed. Music created the illusion that everything was fine. But I stayed on the edges. Watching. Observing. And then I saw him. The same man. Standing inside my home. That wasn't coincidence. That was a choice. I looked at her. She saw him too. But instead of coming to me, she looked away. That was enough. Time passed slowly. Then suddenly, they were both gone. No explanation. No hesitation. I didn't panic. I followed the silence. A closed door. A quiet sound. And then, the truth. Clear. Undeniable. There was no confusion left. No doubt. Just reality. They froze when they saw me, waiting for a reaction. But I didn't give them one. Because in that moment, I didn't feel anger. I felt clarity. The kind that removes every question you've been holding on to. I stepped back, turned around, and walked away. Because there was nothing left worth staying for. I didn't go back inside. I didn't explain. I just left. The night felt different. Lighter. Like something heavy had finally lifted. I drove without direction. Not trying to escape. Just thinking. And for the first time in a long time, everything felt clear. It wasn't just about betrayal. It was about realization. About seeing something for what it truly was. Not what I hoped it could be. When I finally stopped somewhere quiet, I sat in silence. No distractions. No noise. Just stillness. And strangely, it felt peaceful. Later, my phone filled with messages. Calls. Questions. Concern. I didn't rush to answer. Because for once, I wasn't reacting. I was choosing. When I returned, everything had changed. No pretending left. No illusions. Just truth. She looked at me differently. Like she didn't recognize me anymore. Maybe she didn't. I handed her the envelope. No arguments. No raised voices. Just a decision. She tried to speak. But I stopped her. There's nothing left to fix, I said calmly. And there wasn't. Because some moments don't break you. They wake you up. And once you see things clearly, you can't go back. I walked away without hesitation. Not angry. Not lost. Just free. Because sometimes, walking away is the only thing that makes sense.